Here I've got a very simple basic data set that might be used for some design purposes for a small residential development. And my first job is to format it so that I can read it. So the first thing that we do is I notice that these words are all kind of jumbled up. So let me highlight those. I've got my left button down and I'm passing over them, and then I let it go. And I do something called wrap text. I want the text to stay all in one cell. So there we go. So that looks pretty good. But then I also would like to have my units on their own row. So I'm going to put my cursor right in front of the foot marker, and I'm going to do Alt. That's right next to the window. It's between the window and the space bar. Alt, Enter. Whoop, let me do that again. I got out of it. There we go. Alt, Enter. Go to my next one, square feet. Alt, Enter. Square feet, Alt, Enter. And percent, Alt, Enter. And that's very common that the bottom line of any cell in the header are the units. What are you measuring? The next thing I want to do is make sure I've highlighted all those. I just click one cell, hold my left button down on my mouse until I get to there. I want to make sure that those are centered. It's easier to see. And then I probably want to do that with all of my numbers too down here. I'll probably want to center those up. So I highlight the top corner, hold my mouse down until I've got everything highlighted, and I'm going to go centered. Now there's one other thing that some places would like to do. They would like to see these all in the middle of the cell vertically. So that's vertical align. Vertical align. Some places will want top align, and some will want bottom align. So that's a little bit about some of the formatting. Another thing is some places like to have the comma in the numbers. Okay, so that's going to be format. I've highlighted all the numbers, and I go to format, number, and here it is with the comma in it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But now I see that there's too many decimal places. So I need to highlight all of those and reduce the decimal places. The last formatting to make it easy to read and easy to see. I can see all these little grid lines in here, but when I print it, those won't show up. And if I want to, I can even make it so they don't show up now. There's view, show, grid lines, they're gone. I tend to work with them on so that I can see them. But I want little boxes around each cell. So I've got all of this highlighted. Here's my cell borders, and I'm going to pick all the borders. And there are lots of other things to do in here that you can investigate. So there we go. Now I've got myself a thing. And if I think that those cell borders are a little too dark, I can click on it and I can change the color to make them maybe a little bit lighter. Let me do that again. Take all those, click, hit the border color, and hit that again to reset it. Now they're a little bit lighter. If I were to turn off my grid lines, those still show up because those are boxes around the cells. Okay, the last thing that some places really want you to focus on is they'd like to have the header row and the first column a slightly different color. So I'm going to go ahead, and sometimes those colors mean something, by the way. So depending on what type of analysis you're doing, those help you understand some things. And then because I want those to pop a little bit more, I'll make the first column and the first row bold. There we go. Now I've got a table that some data that has been set to be visually easy to read.